I remember taking this picture. I took it through a record, through a 45.
These were all yours, eh? Nice, yeah.
The first band I had was just an experiment. We opened the show for Dave Brubeck, and people went crazy for our half-hour set, however long we played. And I remember coming off stage, and Paul Desmond was standing off to the side, and as I passed him, he was scratching his head and said, "I don't know what I just heard, but I think I like it." That was the first cue I had that maybe we were onto something. A jazz musician loved it or liked it.
The first date I ever did for Herb Alpert, Shorty Rogers called me up and says, "Bill, would you do me a favor?" He says, "There's a guy, he's a friend of mine." He says, "He's a trumpet player. He doesn't have any money. Would you do it as a favor for me?" I said, "Sure, I'll do it."
Herb gave us each $15. It was a scab date.
Oh, well, most of them were.
Right, yeah.
When we first started way back then.
Right, it was $15.
2 for a quarter.
Yeah, two for 25. And that was a lonely boat.
That was the first huge hit that Herb Alpert ever had. It was huge. He became a millionaire on that one record. And you know what he did? He went to the union, said what he did, paid the union fine, and then had checks sent to all the musicians for scale that they were supposed to have gotten and didn't.
The signature moment in Taste of Honey is when the bass drum is knocking 4 to the floor. We didn't have a way to get back to the time without, a count off. And Hal, said, let me hit the drum, the bass drum. Everyone will know when to come in. Larry Levine thought, the engineer, that we should keep that, and it was one of the things that people remember about the record.
And it became kind of a trademark of the TJB. It was only because these professional musicians couldn't come in together.
I met Julius in high school. We started playing a song, and he took a solo, and I thought, wow, man, this guy sounds like Lionel Hampton. He wrote Spanish Flea, although his first title was Spanish Fly. And I said, I'm not sure. I'm not so sure that title's gonna work.
When the TJB became famous and he had to create a group to go on the road, none of the studio musicians would do it because they were too busy.
We did 13 albums, and this was something that bothered me my whole life, my whole career. We'd come back to town and I would call guys like Lou and Hal, and the guys on the road, were really upset.
They were a little offended that they were not used, but recording musicians had a certain sound that was important to get.
No matter what shape your stomach's in, when it gets out of shape, take Alka-Seltzer.
I saw a commercial, and I thought it was a smash. I called up Dave Pell, who was my supervisor, and I said, "What instrumental groups do we have here?" And he said, well, we have a name called the T-Bones. And I says, all right. So I got Tommy Tedesco and the boys in the studio. We went, and we did No Matter What Shape Your Stomach's In. And that was the #1 instrumental of the year.
The T-Bones!
What is their name? Willie Vanelli, or what the hell his shit is? Yeah. They had nothing over us, right? We did that all the time.
I wanted the Marquettes to be like a working group, and if the public knew it wasn't so, it would be like a mini Vanilli or whatever.
I think it's a little different when you're a horn player and you're asked to play the introduction and play the first chorus.
I can understand that.
And play the first solo and then play the fade on the end, and the damn thing comes out and it doesn't have your name on it.
Surfer Stomp, Plaz Johnson was the lead saxophonist, and I said, Plaz, how about calling it Plaz Johnson? And he says, no, he says, I don't want to be associated with that type of music. I mean, he was a much better player than that, but it became a hit, and so we call it the Marquettes, and then I started getting calls. So the songwriter who co-wrote Surfer Stomp with me, called Mike Gordon, he got a group together, went on the road.
Worse than not getting the money is to have to play on the hit record, which sold 1 million copies,
Right,
and not
no.
even have your name on it.
Well-
And they go dig some white kids up out of high school and put them on the road and call them the name.
And it was quite easy for the producers and the companies to hire us to read this music and play these things down in 3 hours and get out of the studio in 3 hours. Then have them come in and spend 3 weeks doing it.
We would either augment or totally replace a group. We're doing a new group, say the Association, for instance. None of them played on the record. We replaced the entire group.
These are the guys that played on Windy and Never My Love and Everything That Touches You and all the things that were in those 2 albums that I did with them. Those are all those studio musicians. It's Hal, Joe, Larry, Tommy, and those guys. I wanted to put their names on the back of the album when it was finished, and they wouldn't let me because they said, well, we don't want those kids out there that buy our records to know that we didn't play on them.